And it's just a huge honor to be sitting in my home, podcast interviewing Jeremiah Green, owner of South Mountain Window Cleaning, Ahwatukee-based family company. Him and his wife, Jill Green. Now, I would think, your name's Jeremiah. If your wife's Jill, shouldn't she have married Jack? Wasn't it Jack and Jill who fell down the green hill?
Yeah,
Something
I beat
like
Jack
that?
up. So.
You beat Jack? Nice, nice. He's a small business owner in Ahwatukee with his South Mountain Window Cleaning, and he has 2 dogs. What kind of dogs do you have?
Labs. 2 black labs.
2 black labs. And how old are they? Same age? Or?
2 and 9.
2 and 9. All right. So the 2-year-old drives the 9-year-old crazy?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. And his passion is creating small businesses and doing what he can to help others and succeed. And my God, you're a hustle because I emailed your business. You emailed right back. You joined Tukeetown right away. And when I offered you to come over and tell your story, that was just 2 days ago, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. So way to hustle, man. So tell us your journey. So how did you end up being in Ahwatukee, 27 years old, married to Jill with 2 black labs? Where were you born? Tell us your journey. How did you end up where you're at now?
So I was born in Columbia, South Carolina. And then we lived there for about a year, moved to the south suburbs of Chicago, grew up there, went to school.
What suburb of Chicago?
Originally Kankakee and then Chicago Heights.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the Chicago Cubs are playing spring training. That's where Tom, did you know that, Ryan?
No.
You get a lot of pictures from
Of the Cubs.
friends at the Cubs on spring training game. So you grew up in what Heights?
Chicago Heights.
Chicago Heights. And then when did you went to high school there? And then when did you move here?
Yeah, so my brother moved here about 3 years ago. I came last year twice to visit. Went hiking on South Mountain, went mountain biking, went home and sold our house and moved. So
Yeah. My gosh, it's you're gonna find out they have all these friends during the winter. I mean, when I moved out here, I was born and raised in Wichita, Kansas. You know, the winters are just brutal, and I don't know how they do it.
yeah, it's rough.
It's rough. I love Ahwatukee so much. So how long have you been out here then?
Just under a year.
Does your brother live in Ahwatukee too?
He does. They just bought a house down in the foothills.
What's he do?
He works at Abbott Labs in Casa Grande and is
That's right.
transitioning over to working full-time in our window cleaning business right now. So,
Really?
yep.
And what do they make down there?
Formulas and
It's baby formula.
Yeah,
That's right. There's a lot of people in Ahwatukee that work down there.
nutritional drinks and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
So of all the business in the world, why not? How did you get with South Mountain Window Cleaning?
So in Illinois, a friend of mine owned a franchise window cleaning company. I worked for him, learned how to clean windows, and then moved on to being the operations manager of the company, and then visited here. I'm an opportunist, so I saw the opportunity, loved the weather, and so we packed up, moved here, and started this from scratch.
Now, was your wife, was she born in Chicago or Columbia, South Carolina?
Nope, she was born in the St. Louis area, Missouri.
Yeah.
And then lived in like Naperville, around Chicago.
So she was the original Cardinals fan. When I went to dental school in Kansas City, Missouri, the Arizona Cardinals were the St. Louis Cardinals football team.
Oh, okay.
And then when I moved out here, of course I was in Kansas City, so I was really a Chiefs fan. But I liked the Chiefs and the Cardinals. Then moved out here, and then the Cardinals followed. So she was the original. Well, actually, the original was in Chicago. Did you know that?
The Cardinals?
The Cardinals started. It was like in the 50s. They started in Chicago, and then they went to St. Louis, and now they're in Arizona. Isn't that amazing?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So is she a Cardinals fan or not really?
Not really. Not
Not
really
a sports fan.
No.
Yeah, either are or you're not. So what? When you came down here, were you tempted to buy the franchise of where you're working in Chicago versus?
Sure. I thought about it and kind of looked into the costs of it, and it just didn't make sense for me. What they would like for a franchise and how I could do it myself for much cheaper. So we went ahead and started South Mountain Window Cleaning.
Well, the only secret to lower prices is lower cost.
That's right.
So if you can get, it's like Southwest Airlines. I remember when they started, they wouldn't go through a travel agent. And everybody said, well, you have to go through a travel agent. And the founder of that, what's his name?
Jim Kelly.
Kelleher, Herb Kelleher.
Yeah.
Herb Kelleher, who in 30 years I've actually seen at Sky Harbor 3 different times.
Oh, really?
Well, actually, once was at Sky Harbor and 2 was at Love Field. He was just walking around, you know. He just, he said, well, not going through a travel agent, I just lowered my cost 10%. Not having meals, I lowered my cost again. He just kept doing things, not having the hub and spoke system, but just putting a plane on a direct flight back and forth with no layover, no hubs. Only flying one plane, a 737. He said, you know, US Air and all these others, they had to fix 727s, 37s, 47s, 57s, McDonnell Douglas, L1011s, Airbuses. He said, my God, I don't even want to think of what I'd have to, the training cost and all the mechanics, all the different parts and pieces. He said, we're just going to have one plane, a Boeing 737. That's the only plane we'll fly, only one set of parts. We only got to teach our mechanics to fly one plane. I mean, it's all about the only secret to lower price, lower costs. So you lowered your costs by not going through a franchise. How much do you think what percent of revenue do you think you saved by going alone?
Yeah, sure. So I know the franchise fees where I worked before were close to 10%.
Okay. So you're Herb Kelleher of Southwest Airlines not going through a travel agent. Good for you.
That's a good way to look at it. Right?
So now what percent, you and your brother both live in Ahwatukee?
Yep.
And the Labs live in Ahwatukee too?
They do.
And you and your girlfriend's in Casa Grande? Your wife?
My wife.
She's in Ahwatukee too?
We're all in Ahwatukee.
What percent of your business is just in the hood here?
Sure. I'd say about 80%.
Nice.
So we've, Ahwatukee definitely has that small town feel. And word travels quickly. So
it does.
We've grown pretty at a rapid pace since we've been here.
So in 1 year, you're already profitable and thinking about hiring your brother?
Yep. So we have 3 guys that work with us part-time. We just added a full-service power washing truck and trailer last month. It's going well. So he's going to come over and take over more of the operations so I can focus on more of the administrative type things and marketing. And
so you want to do administration and marketing, and then what would your brother do?
Just manage daily operations and
a COO, chairman, operation, COO. What do they call it? Chief Operations Officer. Yeah, so he wants to be a Chief Operations Officer.
Yeah.
And so you have 3 guys part time. Do you still clean windows yourself?
I do. I actually enjoy it. So there's some satisfaction to it. So probably 2 days a week I go out and do a house or 2.
And does Jill, does she clean windows too?
She does not. She's a nurse.
A registered nurse, an RN? Yeah. And where's she RN at?
She was a paramedic for 11 years in Illinois, and she works contract here. So she decided she doesn't want to work for a hospital anymore. So she does a lot of like mobile IVs and things like that. So.
Man, a paramedic, you know, that would be tough because, you know, like most people get off at 5 o'clock and they go home and they're going to do dinner or, you know, watch a movie, help the kids with homework. But if you're a paramedic or a police officer or a fireman and you just saw somebody, you know, get T-boned, and I mean, it'd be like daily post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, so that was a big part of her decision to quit doing it because a lot of the things she'd come into. So. Yeah,
I had a job at Creighton, an undergrad. I had you know, they had the student jobs where they pay a minimum wage up to 15 hours a week, you know, for income on the side. And I had one of those. And they're always moving you around, you know, from the library to one time it was help setting up satellite dishes on tops of the dormitories. But one stint was at the St. Joseph's emergency room. And I can remember like 3 different times from St. Joe to my dorm in Swanson Hall was probably a mile walk that probably took 15 minutes. And I remember 3 times walking home just sobbing. And I got to the room and my roommate's like, oh, we're all going to go out to a movie and eat pizza. And I'm like, I just saw a family come in from a car wreck and 2 of them died on my shift. I mean, and the dad's losing it. Like, what do you mean she's dead? She walked in here. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like, wow. It was so she 11 years was enough of that, huh?
Yeah. Yep. She has moved on to less stressful work. So.
Yeah, it really is. And I noticed just the few months I worked at emergency room that those emergency room nurses and physicians that have been in there 10 to 20 years, they look jaded. I mean, they look like they'd been to hell and back.
Yeah. So she's a lot happier. I'm happier that she's not doing it anymore. So.
Yeah, I mean, God bless them that they do that type of work. I mean, everybody needs it, but from a soldier to a paramedic to a fireman to a police officer, that is not a desk job, is it?
Yeah.
So you bought a power wash truck and trailer.
Yep. So we have...
that must not be for windows.
No, it's not. It's for more of, obviously, power wash and sidewalks, driveways. We do restaurants and the drive-thrus and things like that on a monthly basis.
So what would you do for a restaurant? Their parking lot?
Yeah, so a lot of restaurants will have like the dumpster area, the walkways.
Which stinks.
Yeah, the drive-through from all the cars leaking oil and stuff. So most restaurants get that done monthly. Have someone come in.
So is there a lot of regulation in that? Is Arizona a real regulatory state? I mean, can you spray?
Not. Yeah, no.
Can
Arizona,
you spray all these chemicals and surfactants on oil stains on the parking lot?
You can. Obviously, we do our best not to just be out there polluting everything. But California is real strict on it. You have to reclaim all of your water. So if you put soapy water down, you have to vac it up as you're cleaning. But Arizona does not have.
So could you do that in California with your equipment, or would you have to buy additional stuff?
We could. We just have to add the reclaim system to pull the water back up. So. Yeah.
Huh. So what % of your business is residential versus commercial?
I'd say once again about 80 to 90% residential. We that was the other big thing. The company I worked for prior to this, we would do a lot of offices and strip malls and stuff, which we do in Ahwatukee. When we're called, it's not something we market to, but we mostly do residential.
So you would prefer the residential business over the commercial?
Yeah, I would.
And what way is that?
It pays better. You're in one spot for a longer time, so you're not driving strip mall to strip mall to strip mall. You can be at one location for several hours, and I like to interact with homeowners and things like that. But
is this the filthiest home you've ever been in?
No, you'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised. This is a bachelor pad. We have 4 men living in here, and Ryan, I heard that we might not be the cleanest house on the street. So do you? So when someone calls, how do you tell them how much it costs? Because just driving around Ahwatukee, you have small 1-bedroom retirement homes to mansions.
Yeah, sure. We in Ahwatukee, we just drive out and do a free estimate.
So you do a free estimate?
Yep. So that's what I do a lot of right now.
So you're the estimate guy. So how do they call you to get a free estimate? What's your phone number?
It is 480-519-9327.
And for a lot of free marketing, you could ask them that every time they go to the bathroom and 7-Elevens are okay to write on the wall 480-519-9327. Would that work?
It might, until we get a ticket or something.
It might until you get a ticket. So you give free estimates?
Yep. Yeah, so we'll come out and tell you what it costs.
Is there basically one average type home in Ahwatukee? I mean, are almost all your estimates the same, or how many different sizes of homes and windows would you say on average in Ahwatukee?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, there's not your cookie cutter houses.
I know, it's really cool. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, there's areas that are just, like, I came here 30 years ago, so 48th and Elliott, right next to Safeway there, and there's a ton of retirement communities there, just 1-bedroom houses, and then you go to other areas, I mean, it's 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, then there's mansions, so it really is a variety neighborhood, isn't it?
Yeah, they fluctuate quite a lot between Ahwatukee.
So are most people doing the windows inside and out?
Yep. So most houses, our average customer gets their windows done once to twice a year.
Okay. Once a year, twice a year?
A lot of people will have.
So I'm only, let's see, I'm only 10 years behind.
10 years behind?
10 years behind.
That's common too. So
once or twice a year. And what's the difference? I imagine my windows are very clean. at eye level. But where my grandchildren, my 4 grandkids are, you know, about tabletop.
Sure.
My gosh, they only push the doors open with their hand.
Yeah.
And I'm so good I can almost tell the difference in whose hand it is. But so the difference between 1 person and 2 person, is that pets and dogs and grandkids and kids, or is it just being particular, or?
You mean once or twice a year?
Yeah.
No, it's just people's preference and cleanliness. So.
Yeah, and what is, so you can't really tell them what an average house costs then?
No, I'd say our average price point is $200, $200 to $250 in there, but they go anywhere from $100 to $600.
So if it's a married couple both working, no one's home, I imagine there's a big demand for evenings and weekends, or not really, or do they just leave their front door unlocked for you?
We do Saturdays. A lot of times people will just let us in. I mean, we're fully insured and everything, so we've never had an incident, thank God. But yeah, we have a lot of realtors will just give us the lockbox codes.
Oh, so you're cleaning them up for?
Yeah, come in, do the windows, and lock it up on our way out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of the time somebody's home.
Most times someone's home?
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's 322 million Americans. Ryan, Google how many are in the workforce. Last I heard, I think total population is 322 million, and I think the workforce is only like, what, 140 million? Yeah, so I was right on the population. 323 million, 150 million in the workforce, so
basically half.
So basically half the people are still at home, whether it be retired, stay-home moms, kids. So do you do most of your work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or is that?
Yep. Yeah, we try to hold banker's hours or whatever you would call it.
So, but you do some evenings and weekends?
Yeah, we're pretty accommodating. So
yeah.
If someone's like, oh, I have to have it done on Sunday, we'll make an exception and do it. We do our best not to though.
so you actually do windows 2 days a week, and then you have 3 other guys who are part-time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. So a lot of them, they'll work. They either have a few of their own clients and then do some work for us, or they'll work for 2 different window cleaning companies.
So you said 80% of your business, 80 to 90 is residential. Mm-hmm. 10% is commercial, but you don't really market or advertise to commercial, but if they call, you'll do it.
Right.
But in that residential, what percent of that is windows versus power washing with your truck and trailer?
Sure. So we just are starting to market the power washing. So we've done quite a bit of it since we did bring it on. But I'd say right now we're probably 90% window cleaning. But we would like to expand the power washing as well. So.
And why would you like to expand on that?
It's more profitable.
It's more profitable
than window cleaning. So
yeah. Does it work pretty good?
It does.
Does it?
So
what do you think? What do you think people don't know or understand about what you do, and what do you wish all your everybody out, all your homies in Ahwatukee listening to you right now would think about?
Sure. I think a lot of people don't understand that window cleaning is kind of an art. So we get a lot of people that will, when we're working, we may clean a $300 house. One guy may do it in 3 hours. And they're like, well, you just made $100 an hour. We like to challenge that with, first of all, we're paying for all the proper insurance and everything. We're a real business. We're paying taxes. We pay our workers a living wage, as well as you go ahead and try it yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing you hear. Everybody comes back from the Diamondbacks game or the Cardinals game. They go, I can't believe a hot dog was $5.
Right, yeah.
Were you aware that you were sitting in a $1 billion stadium?
Sure, yep.
And a $5 hot dog from a guy standing on the street corner is different than a hot dog in front of a $1 billion stadium.
Yep, and we, I'll tell people up front, we're not the cheapest. So if you're price shopping, I'm not going to be offended if you don't choose us. But we definitely provide a fantastic customer experience. So we're more of a customer service company that happens to clean windows. In that aspect, we do have, in the short year we've been open, we have 120 some Google reviews with a 5-star rating from our customers. So we're pretty proud of that, and we just work real hard to provide that experience.
So what are your website is southmountainwindowcleaning.com. What are my homies going to find if they go to your website right now, South Mountain Window Cleaning?
So there's one thing on there if they're wondering what's it cost to get my windows cleaned. There's a free instant quote tab. They can fill out some information about the house, and it will actually generate a cost for them. And just general information about our company, about some of the different services we have and what's entailed in them.
So why do you have, your clients include Longhorn Steakhouse. That's at what, Ray and 51st Street?
Yep, so we power wash.
And then Dairy Queen, which is largely responsible for my fabulous figure. And my body was actually designed by Dairy Queen. And then you also have a window cleaning $10 off coupon for first-time customers. Not valid in conjunction with any other offer. Must be presented at time of service. South Mountain. Click to use coupon. Nice. And then also you're on Facebook. And you're on Twitter. Oh my gosh, I follow you on Twitter and you don't follow me. How unfair is that?
That's pretty unfair.
My God, that is unfair. I'm heartbroken. I'll try.
I don't really use Twitter in my
I'll try to regain composure. No, you're using Twitter because today is February 27th, and your last tweet was February 5th.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I got dentist friends who haven't had to put out a tweet in 2 years, 3 years.
We use a lot of Facebook and Instagram, but.
Well, okay, so can I argue with you on that?
Sure.
Okay, so you said you use Facebook and Instagram.
Sure.
And I would say that you use Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, Pinterest, Google Plus, and now I think it's going to be the best one is Tukeetown, and I'll tell you why. Facebook is pay to play. So Mark Cuban was the first one that pointed out, the guy from Shark Tank that owns the Mavs. He built up he spent all this money on Facebook ads and built up 1 million followers probably before anybody did. And then he started realizing, well, when I make a post, it doesn't go to my 1 million followers. You have to boost the post. So Facebook is pay to play. Whereas if you make a post on Instagram and you have 100 followers, it goes to all 100. Twitter, you have 100 followers, all LinkedIn, Pinterest, Google Plus, Tukeetown. Facebook is pay to play. And Facebook bought, by the way, you know how I know so much about Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg's the founder. Mm-hmm. His dad is a dentist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so all the dentists are friends with Ed Zuckerberg, and he's just a typical, just a great guy. I mean, him and his, just a great guy. And he's got 4 kids, and one of his is founder of Facebook, and I have 4 kids too. And one of mine is wearing an ankle collar that is continually tied into the Phoenix Police Department. But so the only reason, so he bought Instagram for $1 billion, but you know why it's not pay to play?
Why is that?
Because he wants to kill Snapchat. So as soon as Snapchat is dead, Instagram will be pay to play. I mean, Zuckerberg's publicly traded. He's not doing that as a hobby. Him and Wall Street one is maximum profits they can.
Sure.
And the only reason they make profit is because they interrupt you with sponsored ads. Mm-hmm. That's why the market is going to like Netflix. Because Netflix, you watch the movie without any ads. That's why people like HBO. That's why YouTube is growing their division where if you give them, you sign up for a YouTube channel, like, what is a YouTube channel called?
Red.
Yeah. And how much is Red a month?
I don't know.
Find out how much Red is. But anyway, these people say, I can't stand these ads on YouTube. Well, it's either, there's no such thing as free.
Yeah, they got to make money.
So they have to pay. I mean, you're watching a YouTube channel with 2 billion hours of free videos. I mean, do you think all their employees are volunteers that panhandle on the weekends for food? So if you don't like to be interrupted by ads, then on YouTube, then you join YouTube Red for Ryan said not only is it 9.99, Ryan said it's 9.999. They have worked this out to 1,000th. This worked out to 1,000th of a penny there, Ryan. And so the bottom line is So when you build up, when you put a lot of time and effort in Facebook, you're going to be giving them money. And when we talked about earlier, the only secret to lower price is lower cost. And you save 10% not going through a franchise. Southwest Airlines saves 10% not going through an airline broker. And as soon as Snapchat's dead, Instagram's going to be the same. Whereas Twitter, and I don't like talking on podcasts about religion, politics, sex, or violence, but the president is largely the president because he had millions of Twitter followers. So CNN at prime time only has 1 million people watching. Fox News at prime time only has like 3 million. The president had like 50 million Twitter followers. So while it didn't matter what they were saying on CNN and Fox and MSNBC because he was directly tweeting, he bypassed the media and went straight to the voter on Twitter, and whenever he built a follower, it's free. LinkedIn is amazing because everyone on LinkedIn has a job.
Yeah, we just started.
Yeah, I mean, LinkedIn is, I mean, there's no poor, broke, unemployed people on LinkedIn. I mean, they all got a job. And again, you make a post on LinkedIn, it goes to all of them. Pinterest, same. Google Plus, same. Tukeetown's the same. But what's best about Tukeetown, unlike all the other ones, is, so I'm 55. Social media started for me in 1994, where you signed up for like dentist at Yahoo Group or dentist at CompuServe or all these things. And you'd open up your email and there'd just be this endless barrage of emails like, whoa, it was overwhelming. And then you couldn't find the email you wanted from your mom or your sister or your brother. So all the early social media deals, all they did is took your emails and put it into a website like Friendster and MySpace and now Facebook and all that stuff. But it's still just this barrage of emails. So what I did is I went totally old school, message board, because a message board is searchable. Like I can't go on say I follow Ryan on Facebook and one day he talked about your company. Well, I can't just go open up Ryan and search window cleaning company. A message board format, I can go into Ahwatukee and just type window cleaning and you're the only one that comes up. It's more organized. Instead of having an endless news feed, you have sections. You have schools, churches, communities, businesses, events. You know. Yeah. So I just like that more. But so I would if I was you, I would. The secret to lower prices is lower cost, or the secret to more profit is lower cost. I would build up everything that's free, where it's not pay to play. That's Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Google Plus, and Tukeetown. Yeah,
we do. I don't really do much promoting on Facebook, just the local groups and stuff. I don't.
And what are some of the local groups like Ahwatukee 411? And what else are local groups for?
Like Ahwatukee Friends.
Ahwatukee Friends?
Yep. So we get.
See, I did that wrong. I joined Ahwatukee Sociopaths. I should have. I should have joined Friends.
How's the following?
You know, it was just me. I was the only person in the whole club. So Ahwatukee Friends, Ahwatukee 411. What else do you recommend they join?
Those are really the only.
Are those the two main ones?
The two main ones, yeah.
And is Ahwatukee Friends, is that one person runs that, or
they have like their little group of admins or whatever.
Very cool. So I'm trying to think. What are questions people ask for windows? What percent of people have tinted windows? And do you tint windows?
I don't tint windows.
What percent are tinted?
A local lady. Her name is Bernice, and she owns Pure Luxury Tint.
Can you send me that? Bernice, and she owns Pure Luxury Tint?
Yep, and Details.
Is she in Ahwatukee?
She is. Her husband is part owner of Precision Auto Body. I don't know if you're familiar with
Precision Auto Body. Yeah. Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
With my very precision. A lot of people look at us, by the way. They think that I'm either photoshopped or had a lot of cosmetic surgery, or I'm on anabolic steroids, and I'm all natural.
It's all natural.
This is all me.
It's all
Bernice, what's the name of her company?
Pure Luxury Tint and Detail.
Pure Luxury Tint and Detail. Is that mostly cars?
She does a lot of residential tinting as well, so.
But the detail does it?
Yeah, the detailing's mostly cars.
So she comes to your house?
She has a shop.
Auto dealing and tinting in Chandler. Pure Luxury AZ? That's her?
That's her. So she.
Oh my God, I've seen her.
We refer all of our tinting projects to her. She just did. We cleaned the windows at the new
I've actually seen her before.
Sun Cup Cafe.
And so she lives out here.
Yep. She's an Ahwatukee resident.
Well, she must shop at Safeway or something.
They do a lot for the community, her husband and her.
Is that right? So her business is her website for tinting your home windows.
Yep.
Or your car windows is pureluxuryaz.com. And then what did you say her husband's business is?
Precision Auto Body. He is right by Sam's Club on Galveston.
On what?
Galveston, I think's the street.
Sam's Club. So there's no Sam's Club in Ahwatukee.
Galveston Street.
It's right on the other side. It's in Chandler, I guess.
Okay, so you found it? But he lives in Ahwatukee?
Yep, they both live in it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the rules. A lot of people want to be on the show, but they don't live in Ahwatukee and they don't work in Ahwatukee. So they want to come here and just market to Ahwatukee. And that's cool. I have no problem with that. But I'm trying to just do Ahwatukee. So
Sure.
you either have to live here or work here.
Well, they both live here.
Yeah, they both live here. So we'll tell them both.
I will.
Husband and wife, they had to come by and do this. Here it is. So Precision Auto Body. Oh, I've seen that before. Yeah. So her husband does, he's on East Curry Road.
Okay, they have two. They have one in Tempe and one in Chandler.
Yeah, Galveston is the one in Chandler.
Yeah.
Wow. And so he does car work.
Yeah, they're a massive auto body operation.
So are they friends with yours?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, tell them to come on the show and tell us what they do. And we're all things Ahwatukee. Tinting windows is a deal. I'm trying to think of what other issues that someone out there might be thinking of.
Yeah, we do a lot of like hard water stain removal. It's big here because our water's so hard. And customers will have sprinklers spraying on the windows. And
By the way, I just got a water softener. I've been here 30 years. And you know what made me get it? So this house, I opened my practice in 87. This house was built in 89. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I had water rushing through the ceiling. And I turned on my water, called a plumber. He goes, dude, you never had a water softener. And so the upstairs bathtub, he showed me the whole thing was corroded out.
From the hard water?
From the hard water. In fact, I lost my whole bathroom. They had to go in the garage, cut a huge hole in the ceiling, size of a pool table.
Oh, no.
Take everything out. But he was telling me, he's dude, these pipes are 30 years old of hard water. He goes, you have to have a water softener in Arizona. And my gosh, so don't do what I did. 30 years of, basically 28 years of hard water in this house. And he said, your pipes are toast.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough on everything.
I mean, my pipes are older than you are alive.
That's pretty old.
That's pretty old. So, I mean, so yeah. So are there other issues? Tinted windows, hard water stains?
We do a lot of hard water stain removal. With the power washing, we're also getting a lot of like battery acid stains in driveways, and especially over here in like the golf course communities where everybody's driving a golf cart. They leak a lot of battery acid onto the driveway, and they'll leave like orange runs in the driveway, so we can treat that and clean that up and stuff like that. It's pretty simple what we do. We clean windows and power wash, but.
So is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything else? Any thoughts on Ahwatukee?
No, I'm just excited about this. I was telling your son when I saw it, I was curious who was behind that, and then it all came to fruition.
Well, it's a weird deal because so my journey with Tukeetown comes from, I got out of school in 87, and it was about 87. So I got out in 87, and it was about 97. It was next, I think, 98. So I've been out of school 11 years, and one day I realized I was on an ESPN.com website watching these people talk football. And dentists are lonely because they all practice pretty much alone. And even if you're in with two guys, well, there's so much, you could never learn it all. And I thought, man, I would give anything to be talking to other dentists. So in 1998, I hired a programmer named Ken Scott. He's still with me. And so for 10 years, we've been programming this amazing dental website that all my dental friends, I mean, a lot of my dental friends say it was like the greatest gift that they had to their practice, because it was original social media. I mean, Facebook was 2004. My Dental Town was 98. I was 6 years before Facebook. Huh. And back then it was MySpace or Friendster or, whatever. MySpace. And it's just one of those things you couldn't live without. I mean, you have a patient, you have an x-ray, you're wondering, you want to talk this out, so you go to the message board. And that's why I like message board, because like if I was following you, and there's window cleaning, there's power washing, there's other things, on the dental website. If it's a root canal, I just want to go straight to root canals. I don't want to go to a forum talking about wisdom teeth or orthodontics or cosmetic, bleaching, bonding, veneers. I got a patient in the chair now. I want to go right to root canals and say, hey, here's this patient. His name's Jeremiah. He got to hit his tooth with a window brusher. So talking about, but I realized after 20 years, my God, I could just cut and paste this program that I've been working on for 20 years, 2 decades, and instead of calling it dental, call it Tukey. And so we just cut and pasted. So the categories went from root canals, fillings, and crowns to churches and schools and businesses. And I think if it does for Ahwatukee what this dental website did for dentists, they're going to love it. And and the other thing, when you're on like Facebook, you're connected to like your friends. And what's neat about the dental website is 2 dentists joined that don't even know each other.
Right.
So this guy joined, this guy joined. Like I have so many. We even have a couple that got married off our dental site. I mean, they got married off of it. And I have 2 friends, and they're both Indians. And one was from Tarzana, California, and the other one is from Charlotte, North Carolina. So now they're just like blood brothers. They're always hanging around. Everybody thinks they're cousins. And it's like, no, we met on a dental website on opposite coast.
Huh. That's neat.
It's very cool. So, so what Ahwatukee 411 and Ahwatukee Friends can do is if you join that site, you can meet people you have something in common with who you don't know. That aren't already a classmate or a roommate or a cousin or an uncle or something like that. And Tukeetown is just a different format. We're just message board. So it didn't cost me a dime. That's why there's no ads on it or anything. It's just my new hobby. And it's cool because I also think it's cool. So when people think they want to get this done, most people would rather do business with someone they met. And now with technology, I mean, when I got out of school, this was an IBM mainframe. And then I came out of school, when I got out of dental school, there were still no computers. There were no cell phones. And now, then it went from a mainframe to a microcomputer, and Bill Gates started writing microcomputer software called Microsoft. And then it got so powerful and smaller that now this has as much power as an IBM mainframe did in the 80s. And what's so cool about this is now with video and social media and all this, people don't have to buy from a stranger.
Right.
They can say, yeah, I met Jeremiah.
I do a lot on Facebook, and I meet people all the time. And they'll say, oh, hey, Jeremiah. And I'm like, oh, hi, who are you? Like, oh, I see you on Facebook. And it's startling sometimes, but it is really neat that you get to know a lot of people like that.
And what's also really romantic is my dad had 5 daughters and 2 boys. And back then, like whenever in Wichita, we call all of our grandparents were in Parsons, which is 3-hour drive away. But whenever you're talking to Grandma, Mom and Dad were yelling, it's 10 cents a minute, it's 10 cents a minute, can I get off the damn phone? And she had a little sand deal.
Timer. Yeah.
So me and my 5 sisters, Mom turned us over. You're watching the Great and Sands like, hi, Grandma, I love you. You hand it to Shelly, you hand it to Kelly, you hand it to Mary Kay, Jim Marie, Kayleen. And now I got 4 boys. I mean, I can FaceTime them.
Yeah, for free.
You pay your fixed cost.
Yeah.
And then they don't have any variable cost. But what's interesting about that is when they start doing cell phones, they found out when they were trying to figure capacity, what you want to do is find out what is the price, what is the cost of zero cost. Meaning, if it's free, what's the most anybody would ever talk on the phone? And you won't believe what it was, but it turned out to be 40 hours out of a 168-hour week. So 40 40 divided by 168 is only 23.8, 24% of the week. And that was probably the craziest person on earth, right? Or the busiest person on earth. So when they start figuring out these plans are you can have unlimited usage, because the bottom line is just because something's unlimited, you're not going to FaceTime your neighbor
24/7
for 160 hours in a week. So it's really changing the world, and I want to just play my little part in trying to make Ahwatukee a closer community.
Yeah.
And it's only got a few fundamental institutions. I mean, a community is really built on only a few things. I mean, you have your schools, your churches, your businesses, your healthcare providers, and your elected leaders. There's really not that many stakeholders. And the other thing I think is also cool, a lot of people, like, they don't have time to go to an HOA meeting. Mm-hmm. Well, now if you're the only guy on your block that showed up, you could film the thing on your iPhone,
tell everybody about
and post it on YouTube, and so now one person from your street could go to the few people that have the time to go. Now they can go and they can record notes, and like guess when the homeowners association meeting was for our deal?
What, when?
For this quarter? Oh, it was on Valentine's Day.
On purpose.
Now, why do you think they scheduled it on Valentine's Day?
So nobody'd show up.
Because they don't want anybody to show up.
Yeah.
They purposely don't want to deal with you. So now it's like, oh, it's on Valentine's Day. Well, we went, and Ryan went, and so it's going to tie the community together. And technology can always be good or it could be bad, but I think hopefully it's going to help. And I love this community. I've been here 30 years, and it's people like you and Jill moving here from Chicago. I mean, pretty much Ahwatukee is all new, so pretty much no one my age was born in Ahwatukee. You can't be 55 and be born in Ahwatukee,
right,
unless you're a cotton plant. And so it was able to attract and retain me from Kansas and you from Chicago, and I just think it's a great community. It's South Mountain is beautiful. I mean, I just love it. And it's all because of people like you. And I want to thank you for working hard, hustling, coming on the show. I hope you refer your other two friends, Bernice and her husband, to come. And,
yeah.
And good luck to you and Jill. And I hope you're successful so those two little black labs can grow up happily ever after.
They will. Thanks, man.
All right, buddy. Thank you.